Braintree, Massachusetts, October 30th, 1735. He was born as the son of a farmer. His family wanted him to become a minister. He entered Harvard. He received a theological education, but his character did not fit a calm clergyman at all. Angry, proud, obsessive, extremely honest. And maybe that's why he became one of the least romanticized founding fathers of the American Revolution. He was a revolutionary, but he defended the British. The Boston Massacre. British soldiers fired into the crowd. 5 people lost their lives. The colonies rose up. Everyone wanted the soldiers executed, but John Adams agreed to defend the British soldiers in court. This decision could have ended his career, and it was an extremely risky move. But Adams believed this. If law surrenders to anger, freedom becomes a lie. Most of the soldiers were acquitted. Adams defended the revolution not by shouting, but by building a system. Adams wrote about everyone in his diaries. John Adams kept a diary for nearly 50 years, and those diaries are essentially the political backstage, the gossip of the 1700s. Distant comments about Washington, about Jefferson. Too quiet but dangerously ambitious. Open distrust of Hamilton. No filter. No diplomacy. He wrote exactly what he felt. He was brilliant, but at the same time, incredibly sensitive. The famous dinner table resentment. At a dinner, the independence movement is being discussed. Jefferson is praised. Washington is praised. Franklin is praised. But Adams's name is barely mentioned. That night, he goes home. He opens his diary, and he vents. He writes, "Posterity will never know how much it cost the present generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make a good use of it. The history of our revolution will be one continued lie. The essence of the whole will be that Dr. Franklin's electrical rod smote the earth and outsprung General Washington." In other words, he is saying, the history of our revolution will be one continuous lie, as if Franklin struck the ground with lightning and outsprang General Washington. This wasn't just a joke. It was a protest against the way history chooses its heroes. Adams felt he was left in the background. He was one of the most aggressive defenders of the Declaration of Independence in Congress. He played critical roles in diplomacy. But in public memory, he remained in Washington's shadow. Was it ego? Maybe a little, but it was also a very human disappointment. Abigail. Love, strategy, power. In 1764, he married Abigail Smith. This marriage was not ordinary. They wrote hundreds of letters to each other, both romantic and political. In 1776, Abigail wrote to him, "Remember the ladies." At a time when women's rights didn't even have a name, Abigail was not just a wife, she was a partner in thought. Adams discussed his decisions with her. That relationship made him more than just a tough politician. The first family hanging laundry in the White House. In 1797, he became the second president of the United States. He was the first president to move into the White House. But the building wasn't finished. It was cold, empty, damp. Abigail hung laundry in the East Room to dry. The place that is now a symbol of grandeur once felt like a construction site. His Highness Crisis Adams wanted the presidency to look strong and dignified. So he suggested a more grand title for the president. His Highness, the President of the United States. He was mocked for it. Critics accused him of wanting a monarchy, but his intention was to give the office prestige. Still, the incident strengthened his image as overly proud. Party betrayal Adams was sitting in the presidential chair, but he was alone within his party. Hamilton belittled him and referred to him in private conversations as too emotional. He even made plans behind the scenes to prevent Adams from being re-elected. In today's terms, there was an open civil war within the same party. 12 years of silence with Jefferson. Once they had made a revolution together, then they became enemies because of an election. They didn't speak for 12 years. Later, they grew old. They began writing letters again, two former rivals discussing life and history. A movie-like ending July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson died that morning. Hours later, John Adams died. One of his last words, "Jefferson still survives." But he didn't know Jefferson had died just a few hours earlier. He was born on October 30th, 1735. He died on July 4th, 1826. 90 years. Revolution, diplomacy, ego, love, resentment, scandal. He wasn't charismatic. He wasn't popular. But he was real. Some leaders receive applause. Some build the system. John Adams belonged to the second group, and maybe his greatest fear came true. History did not remember him the way it remembered Washington, but he was one of the minds that kept the revolution standing behind the scenes. If you love the untold side of history, subscribe and like this video. The next story may be more shocking than you think.